All right, well, I was proven wrong. The When We Were Young tour with like a million bands that I thought were broken up, who canceled their very first day because of wind. This festival actually happened. Sunday apparently went off without a hitch. I knew a few people who went. I have spoken with some of the people who have went. One of the people that I know said it was one of the best shows of her life. It was a blast. It was fantastic. And I even kind of brought up some of the skepticism that I had. And she kind of took out all of her anger on me because apparently a lot of people who went to this festival got like a bunch of people telling them that they're dumb and that they're, being scammed and all that. So they weren't. Sunday happened, and this article in Variety has a few points that they wanted to make because apparently people from the website were there. So on Friday and also on Saturday, especially Saturday when the show got canceled, bands such as Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Hawthorne Heights, Armor for Sleep, the All-American Rejects, Anthony Green, Census Fail Thursday, and Bayside all played either free shows or cheap shows all around Vegas to make up for the fact that the show was canceled on that first Saturday. So that's definitely cool for the bands and for the fans because the bands are stuck there just the same as the fans are. One of the points that they bring up as being a high point is after Red Jumpsuit closed their set out with Face Down, Ronnie Winter, who my band played a show with back in the day in Jacksonville. That's my claim to fame. No, just kidding. I don't care about Red Jumpsuit Apparatus one way or the other. But apparently he shared some free resources for those experiencing domestic abuse. Fine, cool, great. Paramore had a strong performance apparently, and Hayley Williams kind of spoke out, saying basically how in 2005 the scene was very gatekeepy, and now there's a lot more people of color in the scene and queer people and women, young women and all that, and how she thought, that's more anti-establishment than these like old white guys gatekeeping what is and is not punk rock. Again, that Variety points that out as a high point. I'm just kind of like, okay, what does it have to do with the music though? Avril Lavigne was joined by All Time Low's Alex Gaskarth and Jack Barakat for a cover of Blink-182's All the Small Things. That's pretty cool, I guess. I thought this was interesting. Boys Like Girls, during their set, 8 seconds in, they stopped and they asked the crowd to put their phones away for the next 3 minutes and 28 seconds to perform it as they did in 2006. Quote, "When we were young, we didn't have this shit," singer Martin Johnson said. "This is how it should be done. I hope you got your TikToks already." So I thought that was pretty cool because, nobody had these fucking phones back in 2005 and 2006 whenever this music was really popular. I mean, God knows I didn't. I had a flip phone that could text, but video was crap, and you weren't constantly holding up your phone the whole time. I remember first time I saw concert footage of, instead of lighters being held up in the air, everyone held up their fucking cell phone flashlights. I was like, oof, this is a brave new world that old man Josh is in. Apparently there was sound issues though on Sunday, especially for Dashboard Confessional, where like half their set the sound was just completely out, which you're not really missing much because it's Dashboard Confessional. Hey, I'm not a fan of this music. I already said that in my other videos about this festival. Some of the bands on here I would have liked to have seen, but like that's a very small minority. Apparently the layout was really bad. It could have been easier to navigate with lines not being guided or wrapped around efficiently, as well as certain vendor stands sticking out in strange locations. Attendees were forced to walk a far distance just to get somewhere that could have been a straight shot. But I mean, really, that's all that they really had to say about it in the negative. So look, bottom line, if you like to pay prices starting at $255 to see bands that the average set time was around 30 minutes if you were a lesser known or a less popular band and you played earlier in the day, and 40 minutes if you were a little bit bigger. And then, of course, if you're Paramore or My Chemical Romance, you get a full ass hour. So if that's okay to you, then fine. Another glaring problem here is because there were so many bands, you're faced with having to make a lot of tough decisions if you are into all this music. Because if we take a look at the lineup here, the set times, how they have it, well, if I really want to see Pierce the Veil, but I also really like Senses Fail, well, I'm out of luck. Or even maybe the Wonder Years to a certain extent, or like if I want to see Jimmy Eat World, but I also want to see Knocked Loose or Mom Jeans, well, I got to pick one of the three because they're all playing at the same time. If I want to see Taking Back Sunday or Bayside, well, I'm shit out of luck because they're playing at essentially the same time. And then there was some bigger ones like Everyone Loves a Day to Remember, and a lot of people like Motionless in White. Well, they're playing around the same time because there's just so many bands. All American Rejects or Avril Lavigne or Ice Nine Kills or Poppy. 4 bands where you have to make a decision of like which one am I going to see, Paramore or Thursday. I mean, obviously most people probably chose Paramore, but Thursday is a legendary emo band. And I feel bad for whoever The Garden is because they're playing the same exact time as My Chemical Romance and Kitty as well, I guess. Wait, Kitty's not that like metal, like new metal band from the 2000s, right? That can't be the same Kitty. I probably need to look that up. Okay, so yeah, that is the same Kitty that I was thinking of. How the hell is Kitty consider, like how do they get, they are not pop punk or, I mean, they're new metal. They were like new metal. I'm not saying all the bands on this festival are pop punk, but Kitty, and they were put on such a hot, like a prime spot, playing around the same time as My Chemical Romance. I can't think of a more alternate choice. I mean, I guess if you just really hate My Chemical Romance and want some random flash from the past 2002 era, I mean, Kitty would fit way more on like a Welcome to Rockville festival or like a Rock on the Range or whatever, Rocklahoma, with like Korn and Evanescence. That's more of that genre. That is such a random, wow, okay. So anyway, yeah, so if you're okay with those ticket prices, which in all fairness, I guess that's not that bad. Now I should say it's starting at $255, so that's probably like the bottom of the rung just to get in the door, and I'm sure it goes, I've heard there's packages that go all the way up to $2,000 that include like suites and VIP packages and all that. Packages, I don't know why I just said it like that. But yeah, I mean, then yeah, go for it. Also, you know, the staggering of the bands to where you literally have to choose out of like 3 or 4 bands that are all playing at once. Other festivals just don't do it quite like that. You might have to choose between 2, but with this, where there's so many bands, you're having to choose between like 4 bands at some points, which I think kind of sucks. I guess that's why they're doing the same lineup, the same probably set list all 3 days. So like you get a chance to, you know, if you want to drop all that money, you get a chance to see all those different bands, and that's cool and all. But look, it happened. I was proven wrong. That's fantastic. If you are aging millennial and this just gets your panties in a wad in a good way, then hey, go fucking fly, drive, ride a train, horse and carriage out to Las Vegas for next Saturday or next year, which has the stronger lineup in my opinion. But that's just because I've always wanted to see Blink-182 and they're headlining next year. Don't really care so much about seeing Green Day live. Never really liked them that much. Anyway, if you like this video, I have other videos about the When We Were Young festival. My first video I ever made for it was why I wasn't excited about it, and I basically go into my whole diatribe about how I'm not a huge fan of emo music. But if you are, that's fantastic. And if you went, hope you had fun. And yeah, till next time, enjoy the rest of your night.